Hello everyone. Very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to the new session of our e-learning class. I am Rashmi Ranjan Mishra, lecturer of UN Autonomous College of Science and Technology. Today I am going to discuss a subject regarding entrepreneurship and small business management. So on today's discussion, I will discuss with you regarding small scale industries setup. So how small scale industries are set up, what are the detailed procedure for setting up an SSI unit, that we will discuss one by one. So listen carefully. If you have any doubt, then you can give your comment in the comment section. So what is small scale industries or setting up SSI? Small scale industries or SSI are those industries in which manufacturing, providing service, production are done on a small scale or micro scale. So those business or those activities or industries are concerned with whether may be manufacturing activities or production activities or any type of service activities. If that industries are engaged for producing the product or providing the service on a small scale or micro scale, then that industries are called as SSI industries or small scale industries. For example, these are the ideas of small scale industries: napkins, tissues, chocolates, toothpick, water bottle, small toys, paper, pen, etc. These are coming under small scale industries. Small scale industries play an important role in social and economic development of India. So in India, for the economic development, for the social development, basically SSI unit plays an important role. These industries do an one-time investment in machinery, plants and industries, which could be on ownership basis or hire purchase basis or lease basis. So those are the entrepreneur setting up the SSI unit. They basically invest their money at a time or one time investment in machinery or fixed asset, different fixed assets, or in industries, and that could be on ownership basis. That means entrepreneur takes whole amount of investment and take all risks, or in case entrepreneur is not like to invest the whole amount, then for hiring the equipment or fixed assets, that will depend upon others, either take on the assets hire purchase basis or lease basis, but it does not exceed rupees 1 crore. That means in case of setting up an SSI unit, the maximum amount of investment by the entrepreneur is rupees 1 crore. So let us discuss in detail about it. Basically, small scale unit comprise of small enterprise who manufacture goods or provide service with the help of relatively small machines. So that means very small machines or equipments are engaged for producing the goods or providing the service, and a small number of workers and employees are also associated in small scale industries. Basically, the enterprise must fall under the guidelines set up by the government of India. So whatever may be the procedures for producing the goods or manufacturing the goods or providing service, basically all SSI unit, they must have to follow the guidelines implemented by government of India. At the time being, such limits are followed. There are certain restrictions. For manufacturing unit of goods, investment in plant and machinery must be between 25 lakhs and 5 crores. In case SSI unit are engaged for manufacturing the goods, then the investment amount in plant and machinery must be within 25 lakhs to 5 crore, and for providing service, investment in machinery must be between 10 lakhs to 2 crore. This is the guideline limit set or prescribed by the government of India. In developing countries like India, these small scale industries are the lifeline of the economy. As in India, SSI unit plays an important role for economic development, and these small scale industries are the lifeline for economy. These are generally labor intensive industries, so they create much employment. They also help with per capita income as well as resource utilization in economy. They are very important sector of the economy from financial and social point of view. So taking into consideration from various angles or various points of view, for the economic development, for the financial development, or from social point of view, SSI unit plays an important role. Basically, the small scale industries are an important sector for the economy from all point of view as well as per capita income and a resource utilization in the economy. Also for that the small scale industries are very useful. There are some examples of small scale industries: bakeries, small toys, paper bags, photography, school stationery, water bottle, leather belt. These are the some of the few examples for setting up SSI unit. Ownership: SSI generally under a single ownership, as it is a small scale industry. So basically it is taking into consideration from sole traders or sole proprietors point of view. That means single owner business. So it can either be a sole trade business, or in certain cases maybe it is started with a partnership form. So now we are going to discuss what are the various procedure for setting up SSI unit. A strong entrepreneur is the most vital aspect for every successful project, that we already know. So in order to set up the enterprise or setting up SSI unit, a suitable project has to be decided upon, and this involves selecting a product or service as well as the location. For setting up SSI unit, we must have to take into consideration the suitable project which should be viable as well as profitable as well as for the development of the country, and for that we must have to select the suitable project as well as product or service and a location. Based on this selection, project feasibility study has to be conducted, and a brief profile for project feasibility has to be prepared for the proposed project, and then an entrepreneur has to make necessary plans for starting up or for setting up that SSI unit. So what is feasibility report? Before starting up SSI unit, one should consult with the Director of Industries and the Small Industries Service Institute. That means SISI must have to consult with the SISI, the entrepreneur or the owner, before starting up that SSI unit. So, and that must have to be consult with every state. In every state there is one Small Industries Service Institute. So the entrepreneur must have to consult with the director of a SISI. The SISI guides the entrepreneur as to the type of industry to start. So which type of industry that should be feasible and viable for that particular locality, the guide or the director must have to provide instruction where to start and how to start, that also be provided information. The SISI helps to select various items of a manufacture which have a scope for development in different area. So which type of a product or items that has to be manufactured, that also be guided by the SISI based upon the area. Similarly, technical help in the selection of a proper raw material as well as the type of a machinery also provided. After from this, the SISI gives valuable information for various incentives available to SSI from various organizations. So what are the incentives also generated by setting up SSI unit? In that case also information should be provided, or various incentive information also available for various organizations. Then project feasibility analysis. What is that? A feasibility analysis is used to determine the viability of an idea, such as ensuring a project that is legally and technically feasible as well as economically justifiable. So feasibility analysis means what type of a project that will be selected, whether that is technically and legally sound or not, and economically justifiable or not. That analysis must have been made, and that is called as a project feasibility analysis. And in some cases a project may not be viable. There can be many reasons for this, including requiring too many resources, which not only prevents the resources from performing other tasks but also may cost more than the organization. So this is another demerit point which requires for a project not viability. So that should be taken into consideration by taking on the project which is not profitable. If the resource is not equally available, and in that case which prevent from different tasks or performing various tasks, in that case the project may not be viable or profitable. So a well-designed study that should offer historical background of the business or project. So for that we have to consider the information or take out the information based upon the historical background, and such as description of the product or service, accounting statements, detail of operation as well as management, marketing research, different policies, financial data, legal requirement, tax obligation, everything should be collected historically. Generally, such studies precedes technical development as well as project implementation. So the analysis stage consists of mainly three factors such as market factors, another one is technical factors, the third one is financial factors. So what is market analysis? This is a method of screening the project idea as well as evaluating the project feasibility in terms of a market, and it should cover various areas. That means a brief description of the market area, method of transportation, channel of distribution, general trade practice should have to be considered. Then analysis of past as well as present demand and value of consumption and identification of a major consumers of the product. Then the third one is analysis of a past and present supply as well as information which will assist in determining competitive position of the product. So for market analysis, these are the various areas that should be taken into consideration. The second one is technical feasibility. This assessment focus on the technical resource which is available to the organization. It helps organization determine whether the technical resource meet the capacity and whether the technical team is capable for converting the raw material or idea into working system or not. That should be considered. Technical feasibility also involves the evaluation of hardware, software and other technical requirement for the proposed systems. Then the next one is economic feasibility. This assessment typically involves the cost benefit analysis. What is the cost incurred and how much benefit is derived by investing the cost in a particular project, which helps the organization to determine the viability, cost and benefit associated with the project before financial resource allocated. It also serves as an independent project assessment and enhance project credibility, helping decision makers determine the positive economic benefit to the organization that the proposed project will provide. Then the license that must have to be acquired by the entrepreneur. An impression seems to have been gained ground among the some people that there are some restrictions for getting of the SSI unit, and the license from either the central government or state government that have to be taken out before setting of the SSI unit. No formal permission is necessary for this purpose. Industries, those are employing less than 100 workers and having fixed assets less than 10 lakhs, they need not obtain any license. This condition must have to be followed, and this condition is prescribed by the IDRA, Industrial Development Regulation Act. SSI, however, to confirm the rules and regulation prescribed by the state or the local authorities. Then after that, after getting license, the registration of a SSI must be required. All existing SSI units employing more than 10 workers should get themselves registered. Those are employing 10 or more than that, they must have to be registered with the Director of Industries in their particular state. And the copy of the application for registration should be sent to the Director of a Small Industry Service Institute in the particular state. Such registration with the Director of Industries and a Small Industry Service Institute will be considerable. That will help to small scale unit for obtaining various financial assistance from government and for obtaining machinery either on hire purchase basis or lease basis from the National Small Industries Corporation. So registration must be necessary. Without that, we cannot get any type of a grant or we cannot get any type of a help from the government as well as different government approved institutions. Then obtaining land and building, which is must be necessary, otherwise industries will not be continue. So to overcome the problem of availability of land for the construction of a factory, the State Department of Industries have set up the industrial area as well as industrial estate, both in urban, semi-urban as well as in rural area. So land is allotted to the industrial area on a lease basis for a period of 99 years. Factory accommodation with the facility of water, electricity, transport, bank, post office, all type of facilities are provided in the industrial estate. These factory accommodation are available on a reasonable rent, on a hire purchase basis or outright purchase basis. Several state government also allowed different subsidy on rent for the accommodation as well as water, electricity, exempt from sale tax on certain categories for given period of time. So this will be applicable by different state government for certain limited period of time. And a loan also be provided to small industries in non-conforming areas for shifting to the industrial area. Then the finance arrangement that must have been necessary. A finance is to be required to explore internal as well as external source for raising the funds. So there are different internal source, that is personal and family savings, loan from LIC provident fund account, personal loan against assets like land and property, loan against share and debenture, personal loan also from society or from different cheat fund, loan from relative as well as friends. There are also different external source for arranging finance. So bank and different financial institutions are playing an important role for providing finance, and that is the external source of finance for granting loan as well as advance for purchase of different fixed assets, equipment, land and building, etc. Then the procurement of machinery as well as raw material. So National Small Industries Corporation Limited that supply different indigenous and imported machinery to small scale unit on a higher purchase basis. Small Industries Development Organization that maintains a close liaison with raw material suppliers such as the primary producer, challenging agencies that like Trade Trading Corporation, Minerals and Metal Trading Corporation. SIDO, that means Small Industries Development Organization, assist the State Director of Industry as well as a small scale unit in the estimation of raw material, how much raw material will be required for a respective small scale industry. State Directorate of Industry fix up the specific quota for industrial unit while undertaking distribution of a scarce raw material. Those materials are scarcely available or very less quantity of available. In that case, the director or SIDO, they will estimate that. Then recruitment of staff must be necessary. In those days, the specialization as well as competition, professional and skilled workers are necessary to be recruited. After making realistic assessment of actual manpower requirement of enterprise, suitable arrangement should be made, and if entrepreneur is not specialized in the particular field, he should appoint a work manager who is well versed in that particular field. Then marketing management also be necessary, that means two-way exchange process which is needs and wants of the buyer and seller for selling the product. So National Small Industry Corporation provide all type of assistance in marketing the product for SSI unit, both at home country as well as a host country. The corporation market the product under the government store purchase program to meet the requirement of a different department, that is railway or other department. Then training, research, design institute that must be necessary for success or development of industry. Proper training as well as management or marketing or the other aspects should be provided. Small Industry Service Institute and their extension center organize various training program for improving the skill of the workers as well as the entrepreneurs with advanced production and a management technique. Different training provided by SIDO for management, marketing, financial management, costing, production, etc. Technical training also provided to the workers. Training program for engineer, entrepreneur, entrepreneurial development program for non-engineers provided by SIDO. Central Institute of Tool Design, Hyderabad, which is also provide different training for the needs of SSI unit in the field of tool design. That means including jigs, fixtures, dies, molds, etc. Central Tool Room Training Center, Kolkata, also assist SSI for providing modern tools technical consultancy. National Institute of Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development, New Delhi, also providing different training program for trainers as well as motivators or entrepreneurs, prepare the model syllabus for training targets. National Institute for Design, which is established at Ahmedabad. Central Machine Tool Room Institute established at Bangalore. So these are the different training institutes. They are providing various training program to the entrepreneurs as well as to the workers. So these are the today's discussion regarding how an SSI unit set up by the entrepreneur, what are the different procedures. In your next class, we will discuss the other parts relating to SSI unit. Thank you. Have a good day to all of you.